So now we find ourselves in Canyonlands National Park, and in a previous adventure you saw that we went from Moab up to Dead Horse Point. Now Dead Horse Point is just right here over my shoulder. So that was kind of the scenic way, as I mentioned in that video, and this is kind of the opposite. So let's imagine you find yourself up at Canyonlands or Dead Horse Point, and you want to take a trail back to Moab rather than going on the civilized paved roads. So what we're going to do is go down Shafer Canyon, and this area is near and dear to me because of some fun that we've had in the past. So Shafer Trail takes you down to the White Rim Trail. The White Rim Trail is a 100-mile trail that goes around the cliff edge as it follows the Colorado River. I've never done it in a vehicle, but I did come here with a friend, and we rode our bikes on the 100-mile loop, starting at, well, we parked at this same spot that we're parked at here, just behind me. Took us 2 days, and they were long days. But sometime in the future, we do want to take the Jeep and travel through that in an overland style. But today we'll just do the Shafer Canyon portion and make our way back to Moab. And I forgot to mention that this particular area in Canyonlands is known as Island in the Sky. And this plateau that we're on is just, it's been carved out by the Colorado River and the Green River. Now where they come together at the confluence, that is also in Canyonlands National Park. There are 3 distinct regions: Island in the Sky, the Maze District, and the Needles District. We won't be visiting the Maze District or the Needles District in this adventure. Hopefully in the future, though. Canyonlands, however, is one of the most untamed and wild national parks. It's hard to find any amenities in these areas. It's quite remote, and especially in the Needles and the Maze areas. All right, here we are in the middle of Island in the Sky, and as you can see, in every direction there is quite a bit of land. We're in this green, lush plateau. You would never know that there's 2,000-foot cliffs in every direction. 7 miles that way is where the point is before it drops off, and it's all connected by this itty-bitty stretch of land, just wide enough for the road. It's called the Neck. Colorado River on this side, Green River on that side. Carved those out, probably nearly touched. Okay, so this is where the trail diverges. To my left is the White Rim Trail, and you need a permit to go that way. Straight behind me is the road to Potash Road, back to Moab. And up above me is where we just came from, the Shafer Canyon, from up at Canyonlands. As you can see, we are just leaving Canyonlands National Park. Some of you may have been wondering why we haven't seen any drone footage of this beautiful country, and that's because the National Park Service does not allow drones in national parks. So now that we've left the park, we'll get the drone up and flying. These are potash evaporation ponds. Potash is potassium carbonate, and it is used as plant fertilizer. These mines go 3,000 feet below the surface. Unfortunately, in this particular mine, there have been 2 disasters, and we will visit their monuments in just a moment. In the first disaster, in 1963, a devastating methane gas explosion occurred nearly 3,000 feet below in the mine. At the time of the explosion, 25 miners were working underground. 18 of those miners were killed, either outright from the blast or by smoke inhalation. 10 of the miners initially survived the explosion. As these men headed towards the shaft station to escape, they were forced to turn back due to white smoke rolling towards them. The only option was to head to the deepest part of the mine, which was just over 3,000 feet from the shaft station, and construct a barricade. Only 7 miners made it to the barricade. After 15 hours, 2 of the survivors, Hannah and McKinney, left the barricade and made their way to the shaft station. For several hours, they repaired a portion of an airline near the shaft blown out by the blast, with the hope that the much-needed air would make it back to the men they left behind in the barricade. After a while, Hannah and McKinney were able to make contact with the rescue team. The team was making their way to the ore bucket, clearing a way down through the debris, which is stacked up at the bottom of the shaft from the explosion, so that the following rescue teams could get into the mine and begin to search for survivors. The other 5 miners behind the barricade were later rescued on August 29, 1963, over 50 hours after the explosion. And unfortunately, in 2018, 3 other men passed in a mining accident as the equipment that they were using touched a power line and they were electrocuted. When in Moab, do Moab things. Eat at Moab Diner. You won't regret it. And as always, get out and enjoy the land of the free.